News. This is ABC Headlines. I am Eric Trinibwa Melo. Coming up in the headlines. Reports reveal that Islamist militants fighting in Burkina Faso are discreetly using Ghana's north as a logistical base. Still to come in the bulletin, the High Court has found 2 teenagers guilty of the gruesome murder of a 10-year-old boy in Kaswa. We've got details on these and many more coming up shortly. Do stay. The news is streaming live on YouTube, ABC News GH. Do well to follow us over there. On to the first story. Islamist militant fighting in Burkina Faso are discreetly using Ghana's north as a logistical and medical base to sustain their insurgency. 7 sources told Reuters a move that could help them expand their footprint in West Africa. The sources, who include Ghanaian security officials and regional diplomats, said Ghanaian authorities appear to be mostly turning a blind eye to the insurgents crossing over from the neighboring Burkina Faso to stock up on food, fuel, and even explosive, as well as getting injured fighters treated in hospital. Burkina Faso has lost control of over half its territory as a pro-Al-Qaeda group known as JNIM gained ground. This week, a JNIM leader told French broadcaster RFI that it was aiming to push into Ghana's Togo and Benin. Unlike Benin and Togo, Ghana has not suffered a major attack. Boniface Gambia Adeblia, that's Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso, told Reuters the militants were taking advantage of porous borders and saw Ghana as a safe haven, but denying suggestions that the authorities had de facto struck a non-aggression pact with the Jedidites. Now, days after the tragic rock blasting incident at the Bujumbura Road construction site, work has resumed with promise of enhanced safety protocols. The October 14 incident, which resulted in the loss of several lives and significant damage to nearby properties, had raised serious concerns about safety at the site. A project supervisor speaking anonymously disclosed that in response to the accident, staff had undergone additional safety training. He also mentioned that advanced monitoring systems have been installed to prevent future accidents. Several workers interviewed at the site expressed confidence in the new safety measures, stating that they believe the steps taken by the authorities are sufficient to prevent a recurrence of the tragedy. The High Court has found 2 teenagers guilty of the gruesome murder of a 10-year-old boy in Kaswa, a case that has gripped the nation since it occurred in 2021. The court delivered its verdict nearly 3 years ago after the brutal killing of Ishmael Abdallah, a crime that shocked Ghanaians as its chilling nature, and the involvement of 2 minors. Nicholas Kinney, who was 18 years old at the time of the crime, has been sentenced to life in prison for his role in the killing. The first accused, who was only 15 years old when the crime took place, will be sentenced by a juvenile court, since the court does not have jurisdiction to sentence minors. The National Executive Committee of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has directed its members to suspend their ongoing strike by October 29, 2024. This decision comes after several weeks of industrial action by UTAG members across various public universities, which has significantly disrupted academic activities nationwide. UTAG initiated the strike on October 10, 2024, in protest against the government's perceived inactions regarding illegal mining, galamsey, which has severely affected many river bodies and forest reserves. In a statement, the NEC urged UTAG members to return to their classroom. Meanwhile, tertiary students are expected to resume classes on November 1, 2024. The Ghana Police Service has apprehended Fatau Ibrahim, also known as Fatau Motorway, who was wanted in connection with a violent clash between supporters of the New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress in Mamobi, Accra on October 13, 2024. Ibrahim was captured on video brandishing a firearm during the altercation, which allegedly resulted in 2 people being shot and injured. The widely circulated video footage displayed a crucial role in identifying and locating the suspects. The Finance Minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams, has disclosed that the government is close to completing its debt restructuring program with only $2.7 billion of commercial bilateral creditors' debt remaining to be restructured. In an interview on the IMF Today program during the annual IMF World Bank meeting in Washington, D.C., he noted that significant progress has been made in restructuring the outstanding debt. He emphasized that once the commercial creditors' debt is restructured, Ghana can consider this entire program completed. And now the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, John Esiedun Ketia, who is popularly called General Mosquito, recounting his family ties with the NPP in Wenchi, addressed that he is proud to be with the NDC despite hailing from the area that birthed the NPP party. The national chairman of the NDC, who was on a campaign tour in Wenchi, noted that it is high time voters made their own informed decision of which political party to align with and not just follow what their family belonged to.
Samia national chairman kura kabia MPP national chairman. If we say party no everyone chi and a momo benya bi here meboa and then buzia party ana ya sha se wanchi hono a ya wu buzia no to ye ya che wanchi district no mu ana buzia da no ya che mu miensa baako aye banda Bako aye time ana bako aye Wenchi East. Me ka se nyame munyam se sa 3 constituencies nyina no. Wo mu nyina sesa ene NDC MP4 ana this 3 constituencies.
The Special Representative of the Secretary General and Head of the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, Leonardo Santos Sayama, has enjoined Ghana to reaffirm its commitment to peace and security in the sub-region. Addressing a gathering of diplomats and state officials at the forecourt of the State House on Thursday, October 24, 2024, in commemoration of the 79th United Nations Day, Mr. Santos urged the Electoral Commission and all stakeholders, including political parties, to ensure a peaceful and violent-free election. Mr. Leonardo Santos urged Ghanaians also to join the I Pledge for Peace campaign to publicly commit to upholding and maintaining peace as the country nears the 7th December polls.
For elections, we must all remember that peace is the glue that binds this great nation together. It is therefore essential, now more than ever, to reaffirm our commitments to peace and democracy. The United Nations in Ghana and the National Peace Council have been running the I Pledge for Peace campaign, which seeks to encourage Ghanaians to publicly commit to peace by pledging to uphold, maintain, and sustain peace before, during, and after the elections. With this campaign, we reiterate our commitment to peace, and we invite all to do the same. Pledge for peace and choose peace in their communities, in their political discourse, and in their daily endeavors. The UN will continue to work with all stakeholders, including the Electoral Commission, the National Peace Council, National Commission for Civic Education, political parties, and the media, towards ensuring a peaceful and an inclusive electoral process. For those who go to the polls,
let's go to Parliament, where yesterday marked exactly a week since the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Bagban, in a historic turn of events declared for seat vacant in Parliament following a petition by the NDC caucus. The Speaker's declaration sparked intense argument and a series of actions, which the NPP caucus immediately walking out of the chamber and seeking a constitutional interpretation of Article 97 Clause 1G and H of the Constitution. The week-long event has raised concern as to whether members of Parliament are representing the interests of their constituents with only 2 months into the elections. In this report, Samuel Nyamabo asks whether the Legislature House is losing its focus with the current feud in the House.
Tension in the Legislative House all started when the former minority leader and MP for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu, on a campaign ground in Tamale, cautioned that the NDC caucus was going to initiate measures to get themselves declared the majority caucus in Parliament.
I am very certain that Parliament and Ghana will go through a major constitutional test. And that constitutional test is that the NDC minority must become the majority from Wednesday next week.
Following the reconvening of the House on Tuesday, October 15, 2024, the former minority leader submitted his petition to the Speaker. The Speaker, after receiving the petition, delivered a profound declaration on Thursday, October 17, 2024.
Accordingly, I proceed to inform the House that by the notification of the polls, the following members of Parliament have by their actions vacated their seats in Parliament. The members are Honorable Peter Yao Kwache Aka, Honorable Andrew Amwako Asiama, Independent Member for Fomna Constituency in Ashanti Region. 3, Honorable Kojo Asante, MPP MP for Suhum in the Eastern Region. And finally, Honorable Cynthia Mamile Morrison, MPP MP for Agona West constituency in the Central Region.
Immediately after the Speaker made his ruling, the leader of the NPP caucus, Afenyo Markin, drew the attention of the Speaker to a suit he had filed at the Supreme Court. However, the Speaker took exception to his posture, leading to a fallout between the two.
No.
Mr. Speaker, then clarify.
Please.
Mr. Speaker,
Listen to me.
Mr. Speaker, listen.
Honorable Majority Leader, I don't want to proceed to make some orders. Please, resume your seat. I'm very serious about that.
Mr. Speaker.
Please, resume your seat.
It didn't end there. The leader of the NPP caucus, Afenyo Markin, proceeded to the Supreme Court and in a swift manner, 5 justices of the Supreme Court stayed the execution of the Speaker's ruling on Friday, October 18, 2024, barely 24 hours after the Speaker's ruling. The development gave profound joy to the NPP MPs who challenged the NDC MPs to face them in court if they believe in the law.
Well, this is MPP. The founders of our tradition use the court to do full right. And true to it, we are Democrats. We don't believe in violence. We don't believe in mischief and unnecessary political chaos.
The Supreme Court ruling sparked several legal arguments from legal luminaries and even ordinary Ghanaians, with some arguing that the Supreme Court is interfering with parliamentary affairs, as Parliament is a master of its own rules. At the reconvening of the House on Tuesday, October 21, 2024, the Speaker was expected to deliver his position on the stay of execution by the Apex Court. However, the Right Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Barbin, in an unpredicted turn, adjourned the House sine die.
In view of the current circumstances, the fact that there is a question on the composition and constitution of Parliament, and having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in Parliament, I will proceed to, in accordance with Standing Orders 59, adjourn the House indefinitely. That is sine die.
The Speaker's adjournment of the House was met with vehement displeasure from the NPP MPs, who have already petitioned for the reconvening of the House under Article 1123 of the 1992 Constitution and Standing Order 53-1 of Parliament. But with barely 2 months to the general elections and a plethora of development activities and government bills yet to be attended to, is this what the Ghanaian populace require at the moment?
Even in Parliament, we are fighting. Those who make the law, we are fighting. So what happened to the youth? What is the legacy we are leaving for the youth? People are fighting for power that they don't have. Our youth don't need this nonsense. Sorry me for the language. Parliament must sit down. All those who are in charge of Parliament today, they've been parliamentarians for years. All of us are confused in this country. Because if you listen to what the lawyers are saying, there's a whole lot of, everybody is coming out with a different interpretation. So we don't know who is telling the truth. So we should ask ourselves, we should leave the whole thing to Supreme Court to decide. I mean, what is going there is a lot of confusion. I mean, they are adults. There should be a compromise. Yes, America, American first. But here, political first. Political, what is the idea, party, and then the first, but wrong. The other side, the minority side, is not good to go and sit inside the majority, because the MP has not declared, the speaker has not declared you as majority, so you don't have right to go and sit for that place. And then what happens is that what happened to the formula is different from what happening now. Yes, because penny a man crying and Kaibuna can for Kahubi. Until the moon and the Kankasa Sama or Mukahubi. Majority,
While the current contention in Parliament may be good for Ghana's young democracy, it may not suffice for the development of the country, especially with few months to the elections. As some have argued, parliamentarians can focus their energies on implementing laws and approving projects that can bring real value to the citizenry. Samuel Nyemabo, ABC News Ghana.
And that's how we wrap up on ABC headlines. My name is Eric Chinebwa Mello. Good morning. Do well to follow ABC in the morning right after this.